Hey y'all, just a quick content warning for today. Trigger warning for suicide, guys. There's a lot of discussion at the end of the episode about Nate and suicide and suicidal ideation. It's very hard to listen to. So if it's not for you, you can just skip the last part of the episode when we talk about Nate. And take care when listening. Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Monday. It's Mugshot Monday. It is the final episode of 60 Days in Season 4. Where are they now, 6 months later? Keisha, are you ready to, in some cases, literally say goodbye to these people?
Oh, can we skip that part?
No, it's going to be at the end. It's going to be at the end.
Can I just turn my camera off and just walk off set when you do that part?
No, this is not a reunion where you get to walk off set. No, it's not that kind of show.
I can't run off the stage. No. Like Teresa say, and don't you follow me. I can't do anything dramatic like that.
No, you cannot.
Jeez. All right. The restrictions here, the restrictions.
I want everybody to know that today is a day of mourning because Bob Weir has passed of the Grateful Dead. Everybody knows. If you're watching on video, I am in a Grateful Dead t-shirt. I will be on a different Grateful Dead t-shirt every day of the week because I do have a stack. It is in a category in my closet, Grateful Dead t-shirts. And I am a lifelong Deadhead, well, since college. And I'm very sad about the passing of Bob Weir and regretting that we didn't go to San Francisco for those shows. Now, the tickets were in the thousands and it was going to be logistically impossible for us to get there and figure out how to do it and go and then have to stand amongst the unwashed masses on a field. And I wasn't into any of it. And neither was Dave, but we didn't go. And he has some friends that went, and I'm sorry we didn't go. That was the last time Bob Weir was played. That was, I believe it was in September. It was the 60th anniversary of the Grateful Dead. And I didn't go, but that's okay. I've seen him many, many times. And he's done a lot for music. And, they were just inducted with the Kennedy Center honors, last year, right after Phil Lesh had passed, another founding member. So Keisha's like, oh my God, I don't care. But for people that do care, I do want you to know
I do care.
This is a week of mourning. I am in a vintage Grateful Dead t-shirt. I am. Listen, he was 78, but these old rockers, man, they live longer than that.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a good run for like a rocker.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, like 78, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But then you think about our parents' ages, so you're like, well, that's still young. That's still young. You know what I mean? So
yeah, 78 still young.
A good run.
My dad's 87. I mean, mom's 83.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, he got cancer. It says just from the the thing that his team put out, it said he had gotten cancer, he beat it, but then he had a lung problem that developed, and that'll get you. So anyway, RIP to Bob Weir. And Bob Weir he spoke of a 300-year plan, so that the music just lives on. So that's why he and some of the other members sold all of the rights to all the Grateful Dead stuff to John Mayer so he can kind of keep it going with the music. And so, as they say, the music never stopped, and we're still here. If there's shows at the Sphere, we're still going to go.
Nice. And nice. I know you're going to go.
We're going to go. Yes. In other sad news, I did travel to Phoenix for the Fiesta Bowl, and we did lose that game barely. A bad call at the literal last second that they didn't call. And whatever, we came out the winners. The world rallied around Ole Miss, and I just saw like so many. It was like on the Bill Maher show, he was talking about it. I mean, just like
wow.
Yeah, like all over people were talking about the season. So
someone was talking about it at the dinner I was at last night.
Yeah,
because I heard them say Ole Miss, but then I just glossed over and start talking about reality TV.
I know
on the other end.
I know it's strange to think that I'm talking so much about football, but it's not just me. And it's so they do this thing where they show the transfer portal, right? The transfer portal opens and college players can put themselves into the portal and another team can snatch them up if they agree or whatever. And of all the teams, Ole Miss had only 3 players entered the transfer portal, which means they were trying to leave. Only 3. Other teams had like
Mm.
26, 35, 40.
Oh, Jeebus.
And, people that are trying to leave to go to other teams,
Right.
and Ole Miss only had 3. So nobody wanted to
Mm.
leave. We had this new
That's good.
coach, got rid of that narcissistic coach. Things are
Uh-oh.
looking up. I'm happy. It's going to be a great
Okay.
2026, Keisha.
Okay. Knock on wood.
Okay. So see how you
Knock
just have to
on
be
wood.
positive because the world is exploding like all
Yes.
around us. Just
Yes, it is.
look for the positive.
Year of opportunities.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's a
Mm-hmm.
great way to look
Yep.
at it, Keisha. Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Gave
Yes.
gave me all the
Yes.
feels. So,
No,
you
it
know,
didn't. We
it
don't
kind of
have feelings.
just for a moment gave me a little chill. You did?
Like 0.02.
I know. Yeah, it was. It was.
That's good. That's good.
That's good for me.
Yes.
Listen, we're getting done with 60 days in, and we're going to go into love during lockup. Now, I will say that when we're recording this on Sunday, some video and audio and pictures came out of Zaria and Troy's latest arrest,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where he tried to say it was absolutely not him.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Troy
Which
Dale
we knew he was
Jones.
lying.
We knew,
Yeah, we
lying,
knew he was lying.
and he's all. Why would he even say? I don't know what they're talking about. It wasn't me. That's so stupid. Obviously, it was
I mean,
him.
a friend taught me years and years and years ago that if you lie, you commit to the lie, you take the lie to your grave. You just keep it going. You just
Okay,
so
that's
he's
what he
about
was
that life
doing.
as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what he
Like
was
I
doing.
lied, I gotta keep up with it. I don't care that there's evidence right here for all you good people to see. She didn't do it. It wasn't me.
The
It wasn't
pictures
me.
are rough. The
Yeah,
pictures
then there's a
are rough.
conversation of her like in the cop car talking to him. Go to according to Amber because she
Yeah,
paid money for all the footage and it's all right there.
yeah,
Yes.
according to Amber, yeah. Woo! It's something.
Mhm.
So, anyway, we've got that to look forward to. Now this episode is 60 days in, season 4, episode 14, 6 months later. I did, quite a bit of research. I would say
Okay.
I had to do recaps for 3 episodes on Saturday,
Mhm.
and I spent most of the time on this one, and I had a 2-hour episode to
Really?
do notes for. I spent so much time on this. I got into such a hole that I couldn't get out of. I kept looking, and as we go, I'll tell you what it is, but I gotta tell you, the first thing I did was I go to the A&E site because I
Mhm.
wanted to get the cast pictures for my slideshow that I'm gonna put up here in a sec.
Okay.
On the A&E site where they've got, it just starts at season 1 and you scroll, scroll, scroll in season 4 and goes all the way through season 9, and you can click on each person. It's, a professional situation.
Right.
No mention of Nate, no pictures of Nate. And that made me sad.
Well, and it's weird that there's not because I want to say it's because of like maybe the
What happened?
charges.
Yeah,
But then again, this is a channel that is devoted to television shows about people and their charges,
I know. I was,
including murder.
yeah, I was very, very surprised that they did that. Very.
Maybe his family requested that. I don't know. I don't know how all that works.
Okay. Well, let's start. Black screen of
Mhm.
death. 9 inmates went undercover in the Fulton County Jail. This is a look at their lives 6 months after the program was shut down. Okay, so we start with Matt and Andrew. I found Matt on Twitter. His Twitter is
Okay.
at Rice Street 607, which literally is like probably his address.
Yeah, of course he would put it on there. But once you see how disgusting his hair is, you'll never want to visit. So there's no threat of anyone just popping up at his house.
And the only reason I found Matt was because Nate tagged him in something on Twitter.
Oh.
I couldn't find his Matt Reed, Reed. I couldn't find anything else, and I couldn't find anything on Andrew currently.
I'm not surprised to hear that about Andrew. He just doesn't seem like the type to be on social media.
But he's
He's
such
probably
like
out doing some kind of mission or
I know, but
something.
he's such a world traveler. It seems like he'd be the kind of guy that would post his mountain pictures and stuff, you know? Um,
I guess not.
I'd love to know what he's doing. Like, is he married with 3 kids? Like, I'd really like he just went full Mormon, like I'd really like to know. But
Or is he working at a gay bar?
listen, it could go either way. We don't know.
Either way with him. Yeah. Mhm.
So Matt tells us, in real life, I'm not insane. Okay. I'm doing just fine. And I was like,
Not according to your hair.
other than your fucking hair, dude, what are you doing?
I mean, it's this. Maybe he's allergic to shampoo.
I,
It's just bad and it's stringy, and I just don't know what he's holding on to, because you could not hold on much to that hair without it just ripping from his scalp. It's so bad.
and then when he's at his house,
It's just as bad.
it's worse almost. And you're like, you have access to a shower twice a day right there.
Look, the man likes to piss in cups. Maybe he only does a bird bath every day.
I mean, okay. So we talk about the piss in the cup. It was cringy.
Mhm,
And he was like,
mhm.
I was in a dark place. I was in fear for my son. And I got concerned I would act out in a violent way, which would bleed over to my son. But I'm so, so proud of my son, Andrew.
Okay.
So Andrew has been out for 6 months, and he says jail helped him to become more outgoing. He started dating
Mhm.
again. We see him walking through the woods, with a Walkman on. And
Yeah.
we see Matt, he's chatting with his wife and his daughter, and he goes, I was so worried about Andrew. And the daughters and the wife are just trolling him. They're like, Andrew
They
did
really
fine.
are.
That he was fine.
Yes. Yes. And Matt has still not accepted the fact that he drove himself insane
No.
while he was incarcerated. Like,
Mm-mm.
no one did anything to him. For the most part, people stayed the fuck away from him.
Yeah.
Because he looks like one of those people like on the street that's
Yes.
fighting air all the time. That's what he really looked like. And no
Yes.
one wants to be next to him because you might get hit by a fucking fist. So
We did see
here we
some
go.
new moves from him that was in prison that they showed. I can't remember what it was, and I'm definitely not gonna go back and find it, but it was sort of
Well,
like
they were
a
waste of moves.
it
Like,
it we saw a lot of the cha-cha-cha, but this move that they
yeah,
showed that he did in prison was sort of a bounce up and down where he was like, "Oh, ch, ooh, ch,"
yeah,
like up and down.
yeah.
I was like, "What?" Yeah, people
Maybe
avoided you because you look insane.
because he looked like a crazy person walking around talking to himself, the hair, and then you're just like, yeah, no one wanted to fool with you. Your only friend was Johnny. And Johnny was his friend only because he was a participant in the
Yeah,
program.
right.
Yeah,
And they're like, "Andrew did just fine, Dad. It was a cakewalk for him, and you
yeah.
chose to go in there, and you keep complaining about it. You chose to do this." And they're all like, "Dad's stupid."
I mean, he acts like he really was arrested and got his son involved, and they both did time in prison, and it was entirely his fault. He created a whole scenario in his head of why they were in there. And
Yes.
none of it was true. I don't even think anyone asked him why he was in there. No one was interested in Matt.
No, they were like, "Stay away from that
No.
guy punching the air and talking to
Yeah.
himself."
Right?
So Andrew and Matt talk in the kitchen, which was a wreck. I was like, I guess they do have 8 kids. I don't know how many live there, but that place was a wreck. I was
Oh
like,
God.
now if people were coming to my house, I have mess everywhere as
You
well.
would think
But
but you knew a camera crew was coming.
I throw it all in a box and hide it in the other room.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. Uh-huh.
That's what we do for our Christmas party. We literally bring out a giant bin and throw all the clutter in that bin and take it to another room. And then we look at it later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so he talks about Matt's like, I was just panicked when you were in there. I was just panicked. And Andrew goes, I just stayed out of trouble and trouble didn't come to me. And
Yeah.
Andrew says, the way you handle things makes no sense to me. Like it's reckless. And
Yeah.
you can't change jail culture. Like you're not going to change the jail culture. So like, why were you so stressed? And Dad says, I'm a man's man.
Real men wash their hair
Yes. Yes.
every
And
day.
Andrew goes, look, it's okay. Like when you beat yourself up for having emotions, you're going to make it worse. So
Yeah.
you like having emotions and then making yourself crazy over it made it worse. And Matt goes, you're right. Like, it's so great. You're my son. You're saying all these amazing things to me. My son has eclipsed me in every way. And Andrew's
Yeah,
like,
he
yeah,
has.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, by far. Yes. Cause I think he's crazy on the outside too.
Yeah, you can see the wife and the daughters are like, God, can you go away for 60 more days? So
Do like Nate did. Please sign up for
please.
the Nate program.
Matt goes, I've realized Andrew is not soft. He's entirely capable of taking care of himself. And Andrew goes, the thing is my dad realized like, I'm okay the way I am.
Yeah.
And he appreciates now how I am as a person. That's all we get from them, thank God, and we get the black screen of
Because
death.
that's
There was
all it really was to it. I mean, he sent that boy in there because he thought he was gay.
he
And
thought yes,
he wanted the scared straight. Literally, he wanted him to be scared straight.
yes.
And I don't even know. I don't think Andrew's even gay. I
I
think
don't
his
either.
dad just thinks he's soft, and he equates softness with gayness, which is just stupid.
Andrew is attending graduate school and pursuing his PhD, and Matt continues to train MMA fighters and teaches courses at a local university. Now, when I looked up Andrew Reed, Utah, there was a professor that came up from BYU, but
Hmm.
it definitely wasn't him because it was like that guy got his PhD like in the earlier 2000s. I was like, so this is not this guy. But I was staring at it. I was like, could this be him? I was like, no, not him.
It's the fact that Matt teaches at a community college.
Hmm.
Can you
What does he teach?
imagine? I don't know. It just said he teaches at a local community college.
Hmm. What does he teach
Maybe he
them?
teaches like PE.
I did wonder, does he teach like Bible studies, the Book of Mormon? I don't know.
Maybe that's why he keeps his hair looking like that, make closer to Jesus. Maybe that's what he thinks Jesus' hair looked like. He's like, this is what Jesus' hair looked like when he was up on the cross, you know.
That's a great point, Keisha. Well, either way, they've got a beautiful view from their back deck, and that's all I can
They
say.
do.
There, now we're
Yep.
done with them. Okay. If anybody has any updated information on Andrew, we don't really care about Matt, but if on let us
Mm-mm.
know because we'd love to know how he's doing. Love to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jaclin. Now, I did read on the Dr. Phil blurb about her. I didn't watch the
Okay.
episode, but the baby that died accidentally suffocated while sleeping in the bed with her and Justin.
We kind of figured it was something like that.
It was an accidental death,
Yeah,
and she and Justin each blamed themselves, and then each, of course, blamed each other.
of
And
course.
it is a miracle that they're still together, really, really, after that tragedy.
I mean, because that's a lot. That is a
Assuming they're
lot.
still together. Now, I looked at her Instagram because we saw the Instagram like with her, with Deontay and the guy with the suit, and she definitely has new veneers. She shouts out the dentist that did
Mm-hmm.
it. She's got new teeth, maybe new boobs, unclear, but she really doesn't post much. And when she posts,
No,
she never puts like a caption. She'll just post the picture with no like love being in Vegas or nothing. Um,
no,
no idea if she and Justin are together. There's no pictures of Justin, no pictures of her daughter,
no.
no idea if
Mm-mm.
she became a lawyer.
Nope. Nothing.
Um, she was on Dr. Phil and also apparently she's on Naked and Afraid.
Yeah. Jaclyn thinks she's hot. That
She
was pretty
does.
obvious. Yeah,
Yeah,
she thinks she's really, really hot. I mean, she's like maybe small town of like 1,000 people hot.
agree. Agree.
Yeah.
Um, and here it's saying, she's been accepted to law school. She wants to be a criminal defense attorney. But again, we don't
Mhm.
know what
Mm-mm.
has happened in her life. Okay.
Nope.
She says that she does not hold grudges with Stephanie, but what she learned is that maybe she's too naive. She's too trusting with people. We see Justin, we see her daughter Gemma. She tells us that after 60 days in, she and Justin separated. And she tells him when they're at the park, she goes, I feel like you could have been more supportive. I felt like you buckled under the pressure of having to like take care of the house and the kid with me being gone. He's like,
I
well,
think he did just fine with her being gone.
I think he was fine. He says,
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you for doing the program. Um, and she tells us, I'm grateful for meeting all the women. Shout out to the Pink Crew. I do miss them. Black Screen of Death says Jaclyn and Justin got back together. They are expecting a baby and plan to get married. But I have no idea if it happened.
Nothing.
No idea.
No. I mean, Jaclyn lived a kind of a boring life. So I'm not surprised that we got a boring update about her.
But I spent so much time trying to figure out, are they still together? Did they have this second baby? Did they get married? Did she get her law degree? And all I can find is her stupid Instagram where she barely posts and no captions and no pictures of Justin, no pictures of the kids. No clue.
If I had to make a guess, she did not become an attorney.
Okay.
She and Justin are long gone together.
That's all I would guess as well. But I'm not going to watch Naked and Afraid to find out.
No, and I think Justin liked Jaclyn a lot more when she was locked up.
I know that's your theory. But they have been together since high
Yes.
school, so I think he does like her. Um,
Okay.
okay.
It's cheaper to keep her sometimes.
Amen.
Mhm.
Alan. Can't find anything current on Alan. Now, at one point when I was looking him up, something popped up that looked like his Instagram name was like actor Alan, like he was
Oh
acting.
God.
But then when I tried to
No.
go find it again, I couldn't find it. And somebody on Reddit, I was on Reddit for so long yesterday,
Yeah.
um, said that his Instagram led you to believe that he was an actor, but you just can't find anything. I don't like it when I just want to like peep somebody's Instagram, do a
Yeah.
little, and then
And that's it.
assume what they're doing. That's what I want.
I mean, the only acting that I can see him doing is like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit double or something like that. I mean, he's pretty tiny. I mean, he looked like he had eaten a steak.
He
So he's
looked
got a
better.
little bit of iron. He looked a lot better, but he's still just that scrawny kind of look about him.
He's a little
If he
fella.
pulled me over, he was a cop, I would just keep going.
Keisha. So he's back home and he says, he's not sure if he wants to go back into law enforcement because there's parts of that he does not agree with. And
Mm-hmm.
before he went to jail, he was very closed-minded and he felt everything with the law was black and white and no gray. His opinion has completely changed on that. He
Mm-hmm.
really think twice about arresting somebody and sending them to a place like that for such a minor offense.
Right.
And he meets with this guy named Officer Tommy Norman, who is a cop in Little Rock, Arkansas, who is known for his connection in his community. What was this about?
This did not age well at all.
Why did Tommy Norman do something?
Like last year,
Uh-huh. I don't know
his
any of
wife
this.
accused oh yeah, last year his wife accused him of domestic violence and he was forced into early retirement. Now here's the scoop. No
Ooh.
one really believes that he put his hands on her. The theory is that she was doing something to him and he kind of like defended himself and she
Uh-huh.
got pissed off and called the cops because he was arrested. He did indeed get arrested, but he was let
Wow.
go. But I mean, nothing else has happened since then. But he went ahead and he did retire. Like he was internet big for the community he worked that he did. Like I followed his story for years. So,
I'd never
he
heard of
was
this
like,
guy.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
So they walk around the neighborhood and he says, loving the neighborhood and knowing the families has cut down on crime in the neighborhood. A bunch of the little
Mm-hmm.
kids come out and hug him, which is very cute. And
Yeah.
the adults are like saying hey from their porch. And Alan is like, this is what I want to strive to be, a person like this in my community.
Right.
And Black Screen of Death, Alan is working as a car salesman. He does community outreach to promote a positive perception of law enforcement. I couldn't find anything else.
Alan cannot sell me a car. I am sorry. I'm
What
like, I need a car salesman who doesn't need a booster seat to see over the steering wheel. I am not buying a vehicle from Alan.
what kind of a car does he sell? Let's think.
Like little
Mm,
bitty electric cars.
I mean, do you think he's selling like Ford trucks, or do you think he's selling like?
Girl, he is not selling trucks.
Okay,
What man that really is about trucks is going to listen to Alan tell them about trucks? No one. He's selling to a 16-year-old girl. It's her first time ever buying a vehicle.
okay,
That's what
uh,
he's doing.
all right.
Yes.
Let's see.
And hopefully he doesn't suck her blood.
Okay, let's see. I'm just trying to see. I mean, how funny that I do not even have a picture of Alan because I was just
It
like, oh,
wasn't on the A&E thing either.
It was. I just forgot to put it on here.
He's just kind of forgettable.
That is so funny. I've got Matt, then I've got Andrew. Okay. Next one I've got is Emmanuel. Okay. Emmanuel.
He tried to look so hard in that photo.
Bless him. Emmanuel says, my life is good. I've joined a new workout program. His life is too short. Being in jail helped me to refocus and energize. I'm spending more time with my family. And we see him, he makes a joke, let's go out to the yard or go out to rec or whatever and run around with his kids. And we see Emmanuel is training to become a mentor to the at-risk youth at the Anti-Recidivism Coalition. So we see him go to a meeting and listen to a guy talk about like he was in jail and how he's going to help them become good mentors. Here's another guy that says, you're not your past, you're not your problems, you're not your jail stint. And he's like, hi, I'm Emmanuel. I did 60 days. And I was like, you didn't do 60 days. You got taken in.
Right. And my number one cause was when I really went in there was spread awareness about mucus and blood on the wall.
I was there as a public health safety
Yeah.
officer. I let them know I am from the hood and don't you forget it, mister. Oh, so he says going to jail helped him promote awareness and help people who have been disenfranchised by society, like
I think he'll do
inmates.
good at that. Yeah.
And he is now a program. So 6 months later, he has left his public health job.
Mm-hmm.
He is a program manager for the California Department of Communication. Correct. Blah, blah, blah. Emmanuel is a program manager for the California Department of Corrections Rehabilitation. He works
Okay.
to reduce recidivism. And I
Yes.
think, okay, good job
I
for
think
him.
he'll do good. I think he'll do good at it. I really do. I just don't think he should continue to tell people he did hard time for 60 days because there's two lies. You weren't there for 60 whole days, and you're also part of a fucking program.
Yes.
But I think that's going to be, he's going to introduce himself as what's his name again?
Emmanuel Bucci.
Emmanuel Bucci, Little Bucci.
Little
And
Booch.
I did 60 hard days. And that's just
Or 41 and a half, depending on how you see it. Okay.
41 and a half, but it felt like 60 because there was fucking mucus on the wall.
Okay, Johnny. Now, Johnny, it seems like according to Reddit. Now, and I told you before that Johnny is all over the Reddit. If you go to the 60 days in threads, any threads you go to, Johnny is there. And it is like the official Johnny 60 days in, and people are like, oh my gosh. I mean, no matter what anybody writes, he's in there. He's either trolling them, like if they said something bad, he agrees. But I did get a lot of my information about Nate that we're going to discuss later from Johnny's post. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Johnny has a lot to
Not
say.
Johnny being messy.
He's not messy. He's kind of speaking up for him. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. All this stuff is about Nate that we will. Now, here's something that happened. I actually saw. Okay, I was actually I was going to reach out to Johnny. Okay, because I was like, okay,
boy.
So he knows so much about what happened with Nate, and I think also he would know like what's Alan doing. He would know what everybody's doing. So I went to his Instagram and was like, oh, I'm gonna send him a DM. Sent him a DM and immediately regretted it when I looked at the rest of his Instagram because he has some extreme views on things that I do not agree with. I'll put it that way. And it was shocking being that he is a Hispanic man living in the United States, his views. So I rescinded my DM and said, nope, don't need to talk to him. But I do thank him for his service. And I appreciate him keeping his friend's name alive, talking positively about Nate, which we'll get into. So
here's the thing about Johnny. This was the person that had the most interesting story.
Yes.
Of them all.
Agree. Yeah.
And nothing was done with it. Period, point blank. Nothing was done with his story. I mean, from him being not just a gang leader, do you know the bad motherfucker you have to be? Say, I'm going to start my own gang, and you get people recruited to be part of it.
Yeah.
And then you have this son who probably followed you in your footsteps, and he's in prison for murder. But he was such a nothing burger.
I know there's so much we could have learned from Johnny. I think
so much potential, and we got you know why? Because he was outshadowed by that fucking crazy person.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was.
And I did find out with the Reddit that his son did get out 2 years ago.
Oh, good.
And appears to still be out and doing fine.
Okay, good.
So in this segment, he says the whole jail experience was like a Christmas Carol. Like I saw Johnny past, Johnny present, Johnny future. And, it's lonely in there and you would be locked down. No, you had nobody to talk to. It was really lonely. And he says, I'm a successful person now, but I wasn't supposed to be. I was supposed to die at 17 years old.
Right.
And I now appreciate sitting down for a meal with my wife and, the small things in life. So they're sitting and at the dinner, he and his wife, and she says, "Now that you've done this, do you have a better understanding of Johnny, your son, Johnny?" And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm realizing how hard it's gonna be for him to come out, to get on his feet. We just have to support him and love him, and I want him to, like, come out and live with us. I'm sure the wife's like, "Now what now? Say what?"
Okay. Did you clock that? Because I clocked the look on her face, and it made me think: is she the mom of that son? Because she had a look on her face like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
No, she's not the mom of that son
Oh, really?
because they have the kids that are, like, 9 and 11, and the one in prison is, like, in his 20s.
Okay, because as soon as she made that face, I'm like, I don't think she's the mom. Because the mom would never make that face. She'd be like, oh, yeah, 100%
Yeah.
he needs to come and live with us. But she was like, thank you, Mary Payne.
No, no, no,
Okay.
because Johnny had that kid when he was, like, 18, and now he's in his
Okay.
50s, you know?
Got
Yeah.
it. Got
And
it.
then
Okay.
and then he actually, like, turned his life around, got married, and has these
Mm-hmm.
younger kids.
She's like,
Um,
she ain't staying with us.
he's
What
like,
his
"I don't know
mammy?
what you're talking about staying with
What
it. Not
what
in this
what
house."
his how his mom and them? What about that side of the family? Like
And he says, "And in the jail, what I realized is many of the inmates are missing a father figure."
yeah.
And so he goes, "I'm coaching my, second son's, baseball
Mm-hmm.
team. I believe the structure of baseball keeps kids on the right path. I love baseball and I love teaching, so this has been great.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanna help the world, and to do that, you have to start with the kids that are young."
Right.
And then Johnny is coaching little league and speaks with his son often, and like I said, what I found out is that he is the son is out, and Johnny Jr. seems to be doing fine.
Good for him.
You could look him up. I believe you could just look up Johnny 60 Days In. I think it's Johnny Hernandez, and you'll see all his stuff. And if you scroll down a little, you might see some stuff that is shocking. But anyway,
I'm gonna take your word for it.
okay, just take my word for it. But I do
Yeah.
appreciate that he does go on the Reddit and
Answer
answer
questions.
questions. Yeah. Okay. Stephanie can't find anything current on her ass either.
That's surprising.
I'm very surprised. Okay, now I've got a couple of very funny slides. Okay, first of all, this is the picture that is on the A&E website for her.
She's so stupid. Like,
And
why does
then
she pose like that?
she is
She's a
frightening.
weirdo. Yeah, she really is
But
a scary person.
okay, but another picture that was on Reddit is this one.
Mm. The accuracy. Yeah. I
So
love comparing people to the female gremlin. And I never, what's her name? Greta, I think that's her name.
I
There's
can't
so many
remember.
women, especially nowadays, with like the wigs and extreme lips and things like that, that just look like her. I'm glad she's somehow making a comeback in pop culture because I don't think she got enough recognition for what she brought to Gremlins too.
I
That's my
was
show.
laughing so hard at
It
this.
looks like her.
So you guys, if you're not watching on video, it is pictures of Stephanie at that tell-all where she is looking like the full girl from the Gremlins. Okay.
And so when I was watching Stephanie back, I kept thinking about how we were talking about her nose last week
Uh-huh.
and the shape and how she has what do you call
Septum
and I
piercing.
always call it a bull puller.
Yeah. Mhm.
So you know what she looks like?
What? Let's pull it up.
She looks like the female dragon from Shrek. Her nose is the nose of a dragon.
Mm. It's
Yes.
interesting because listen, I'm going to tell you something. I don't think she's got a bad nose. I just think she's accentuating the part of it that she doesn't need to accentuate.
Yes, because I never really noticed she had a bad nose until she got that stupid nose ring in there.
I just can't get over it. And it's the contacts that scare me. It's like she's like
I hate
whatever you
those.
said, a White Walker or whatever. I don't know what that means, but I think you're right.
It's Daywalker.
Oh,
Blade.
oh,
Wesley Snipes is Blade.
oh, okay. Is White Walker from Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't watch that either.
You silly goose.
I don't have time to watch anything. Okay. I just know the Dementors. I just compare a lot of people to Dementors. Okay.
You know Harry Potter's my jam.
I know. Stephanie. Okay. So she says, when you get out, you have to adjust to the real world. And she's still living with her boyfriend, Matt, but on the couch. He looks like he wants to smother her in her sleep.
Well, we knew, and I think it was mentioned that she was not going to be with this dude when she got out. We didn't know why.
She just ran all over him.
I bet she did. He's probably half scared of her.
I was saying, he looks like, now when you get home tonight, how fluffy is
Mhm.
that pillow? Could I choke you out with it? She's a
Well,
lesbian now,
he's
and
seen some things.
she has a new girlfriend. She's gay now. Now she says, I was always gay. Like, duh, what's wrong with you? What?
Girl, stop.
She said, I've always been gay. I just never told anybody.
Stop.
So I
She
do think,
does too much and
I bet,
does too little.
I bet she had a girlfriend in prison, but they didn't ever show it.
Well, because she was the one who said that everybody
Everybody
had a
has a
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
And when she said that, I was like,
You
well,
said,
that's weird for her to say that. I'm
you
like, did
said, did
she have
she have one? But see, I had already
one?
watched
Uh-huh.
ahead, but I didn't want to like say, mm-hmm.
So she was in there making tents too. We
I
just
bet,
didn't get to see it.
I bet she was. And she says, my family is very religious, but now after jail, I feel confident. So I just, told everybody. And then she looks right at the camera and goes, I won, America. Okay. Again,
Oh, bitch.
again.
You were not on Survivor, Big Brother, Traders, any of the. It wasn't a competition. It was an informative show that you were on.
The producer goes, okay, so what does that mean? And she laughs and goes, why does everybody say that?
Because
So
it's
that,
not true.
so they show the clip from the jail where she says, I like winning. I won in the sense, and then she says, I won in the sense that this is exactly what she said. And I rewound it several times because when she said
Mhm,
it, I was like, I don't think that makes sense. But then I went back to make sure this is
mhm.
what she says. I won in the sense that I did what I accomplished to do for myself.
Which was what? Find out that you were a lesbian?
But
What was it?
I did what I accomplished to do for myself. What she's trying to say is, I did what I set out to accomplish for myself. But she
You
says,
know what? You said she always says stuff wrong.
I did what I accomplished to do for myself. That doesn't make any, I just wrote, girl, what?
Any sense at all?
Girl, what? Anyway, she says, I got information while blending in. I mean, I did whippets or a pill or two, but I was the best participant. I will always be. And that will go down in history. I mean, I was better than Angel because that dumbass blew her cover. I was better than Jaclin because they thought she was a participant.
Oh my God.
Okay. So
She's not, she got no, she didn't get any better after the show.
no,
She came out worse.
she came out worse.
Yeah.
And she got feedback and still didn't take it. And
And you know she had to get a lot of hate.
a lot. You go in that Reddit and it is hate after hate after hate after hate. No, not one person had anything to be like, well, no.
And she's one of those people that thinks, I've got hater. That means I'm really on and popping. Like she thinks it's like this great thing.
Right, but I can't find anything about her. I can't find any Instagram,
Maybe she's
nothing.
really in fucking prison. That's where she seems to thrive. Maybe that's where she's at.
And so the producer says, let's talk about Jackie. And she goes, okay. So we see her saying, I don't trust Jackie, but I use her. We see her
Mhm.
saying, and when I don't need Jackie, I'll throw her under the bus. And we see her saying, I'll be glad when she goes home. And the producer says, what was the deal with Jackie? And she goes, okay, people wanted to know why I treated her so poorly. It's because I didn't
Mhm.
like her. Um,
Okay.
6 months later, I do not speak to her, and she has blocked me because everybody knows the truth. She tells everyone I sabotaged her. No, dear, you sabotaged yourself.
I
How?
don't know what show she watched. She's on a whole different channel than the rest of us.
That's exactly it. She's
Mhm.
completely on another plane. And she
Yeah.
says, no, the jail experience did not improve my relationship with my brother or sister as much
We
as
didn't
I
think that
thought.
it would.
No, because
They
they hate
don't
you
like
too.
you. Yeah, you're unlikable.
And she says, I wish that it would have improved my relationship with them, but it didn't. But I do now have more empathy for inmates. So she meets with her mother, Wanda, who says, more than once, girl, I knew you always wanted to bump coochie to coochie. And remember when I asked you, do you want to bump coochie to coochie? And girl, you want to bump coochie to coochie. That is gross.
Yeah.
That is your mother. Gross.
It was just so unnecessary to say that, but now you see where some of the craziness that Stephanie has comes from because her
Yeah,
mama ain't right.
she
No,
ain't right.
mm-mm,
And they
no.
did flash back to when they were at that Chili's and she was just throwing those chicken fingers in that thing. So it's like, no,
But
this
she was so upset. She was so upset though. But she is not gonna pass over that tripper dipper or
no.
whatever they call it.
Can I please get some things for my sauces? But then I gotta
Yes.
go. Um,
I'm distraught. I got to
I
go.
gotta go, but I am gonna need a bag for my okay. So the mom tells her, she goes, I may not agree with all you do, but I do love you and I support you. And she says, thanks.
Okay.
And then mom is asking her, have you met the girlfriend's mom? And she says, yeah, I've met her. And her mom goes, okay. She says, well, I got to tell you something. When you were in prison, I was so worried about you. I took out a life insurance policy on you. Mom was like, I was hoping this turned into a dateline.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Now, Stephanie, you ought
That's
to be
crazy.
worried because that's the first time when somebody takes out a life insurance policy on you, they're trying to get rid of you.
She was really hoping her daughter did not come back.
She was thinking, I'm gonna be the winner in this situation.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And if Swole had gotten a hold to her, she may have cashed in. But
Stephanie says, I wanted to prove to myself and to my family that I could do it. And mom says, well, you did, and I'm proud of you. God knows at the end, the black screen of death says, Stephanie started a new job at an elementary school as a teacher's aide. We
this
don't
is
need
how we know there is a severe crisis going on in public education in the United States.
Can you imagine you would have her
No,
as your teacher's aide?
no.
It was like, that mean lady was mean to me when you went to the bathroom, Miss Smith.
And she kept calling us swole and talking about whippets and stuff like that. Like, what's she every Wednesday? She calls it Whippet Wednesday. Like, what is that?
She keeps
What
telling
is
that
it?
she's in prison.
Yeah, it's like, girl.
She's still living with Matt. Now, if she's so proud of herself for being a pharmacy technician, why didn't she
Mm-hmm,
pursue that as a career?
mm-hmm,
Why
mm-hmm.
is she would somebody job hops like that?
There's something wrong with them.
Yeah,
And why isn't she living with her girlfriend? Why is she still living with this
with Matt.
poor, sweet white guy that can meet another black girl that would treat him so right
That's right.
and
That's
who
right.
he's not afraid of? And he probably sleeps with a knife underneath his pillow every night.
Well, I think he thinks every night, tonight's the
Could be
night
the night.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna kill her. Because when she was talking to him, he was looking over to her like, why is she still here?
Yeah, poor thing.
All right, Angele. So the show ended with Angele, but we're gonna end with Nate. So
Mm-hmm.
from her social media, it looks like she just got married in August of 2025 to a woman.
Okay.
Looked like a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful beach wedding.
What?
It was a
To
girl.
a
She
woman?
married a girl.
What?
And it appears she's now a film director,
Girl.
writer and director.
Anybody, anybody with a camera
Yeah,
can be a film director.
it looks all very profesh. It looks very
It
profesh.
just because something looks professional does not mean it will be successful.
Y'all can go check out her website, angelecooper.com. Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Um, so her segment we see, she's back in Atlanta and she says this whole thing was surreal. Like she's looking at, she can't believe she's back there. She says, when you're in jail, you feel time moves so fast. But since I've been out, like I felt like I was in there for a year. I wasn't expecting to exit the way I did, but overall, it was a beneficial experience. I learned a lot about myself. I don't think you
No, you
did.
didn't.
And yeah, last time I spoke to Gabby, she wasn't doing well. She'd gotten back into drinking. Girl, you were drinking with
Imagine
her in
that.
prison.
And doing drugs.
You were doing drugs with her in prison, drinking with her, and you're trying to be surprised that this girl relapsed.
I can't get the past that she's in hot ass Atlanta with that button, the top button. I just want to go
Yeah,
a little bit. Like, girl, show a little chest or something like that. Like, why is it button all the way to the tippity top?
She says,
It
I
bothers
was
me.
going to fly Gabby to see me wherever she lives. I can't remember. She says, but I haven't heard from her, and I've actually flown here to look for her. No, you didn't. You
That is
flew
so
there
stupid.
because
You put it for the show.
yeah. Because Gabby is a hardcore addict, and I hope she's not too deep back into her addiction. And then it says, Angele has not seen Gabby since the program was shut down. About 4 weeks ago, she lost all contact. So she says, in my time there, I had no idea that what I did would shut the whole program down. And do I regret it? No. I regret saying I regret it. I regret that. I regret saying that I regretted it, that I said I regretted it just now and that you regretted it. Did you regret it? Because I regret it. I don't regret it, but I regret saying I regretted it. I was like, oh my God, we get it.
She's so immature that it's scary. even going back home, like after the reunion, going back home, watching the show, she
Yes.
still has no, she still didn't see anything wrong in what she did.
She says, especially because of somebody like Stephanie, she was treating this shit like a game show. She was a trifling ass, deceitful person who had the audacity to point the finger at me. And
Well, well,
Stephanie
everything
did
she
have the
said about
right.
you is true.
She did have the
Yeah,
right to
because you
point the
did
finger
do
at
it.
you because that's what you did.
Well, yeah, she was treating it like a game show. You were treating it like it was a whorehouse. Like
it was like Harry's Harry's halfway house.
it really.
Yes.
Yes, it
Yes.
was. Uh-huh.
She goes, I didn't even join that participant group on Facebook. Because they're all friends with each other. I'm not part of the participant group. I'm part of the inmate group. Yeah, fuck that.
She
She
ain't
says,
talking to any of those people.
she says, these women, they deserve love. They're not animals. You don't know their story. And that's my opinion. She keeps saying these women deserve love as if anybody has said somebody in prison doesn't deserve love. No one has ever said that.
No. And she's still failing to realize why she was part of the program as well.
Right, right.
Great that you have sympathy for them, but you could have done so much more if you, what does Stephanie say? Bumping coochie to coochie.
Bumping
You
coochie to
concentrated,
coochie.
yeah, you were more concentrated on that than doing anything else. Like, what did you report back to the colonel?
What did she report?
Nothing.
Like, here's how they get the drugs in, or here's how we were able to have a full blown strip club party with bouncers and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
And nachos and all
yeah.
kinds of shit. Yeah. I mean, you had a full blown fucking party there with a guest list.
So now she's going to meet with Gabrielle's brother Danny. Now this was interesting, and I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Me too.
Um,
Because
so
he did not play around at all. I was like, thank you.
so she tells Danny, Gabby's the first person I ever met that was addicted to heroin. And
Mhm.
he goes, yeah, she's been missing for 4 weeks. She missed a court date. She missed a probation appointment. And, like, we just want to know, like, she was still with us. And
Mhm.
so Angele goes, is this like normal that she would drop away for this long? And he goes, sometimes she'll partially drop off the map, but right now she's on the run. She doesn't want to be found. Like, she has
Mhm.
missed a probation appointment, a court date. So she's out in the wind. She's on the run. Angel goes, well, it's so great because like she had that job. He goes, oh, did she tell you she had a job at a hotel? She goes, yeah. And he goes, no. She goes,
Oh,
no. He
wow.
goes, no, she never worked, not once. And she's like,
Damn.
wow. And he
Mhm.
goes, she was fucking with you. She's lying.
Yeah.
She played you. That's her game.
Yeah.
Um, and Angel goes, well, did she at least she told you all about me? He goes, no.
Mm-mm.
He goes, no,
Mm-mm.
girl, I never heard of you. Not one
I
thing.
loved it. I loved every single because he had no sympathy for her.
Mm-mm.
Probably because he watched the show and saw what an asshole she really was, and he just gave it to her. Like
He
you
goes,
got played.
no, not one thing. He goes, here's the thing. She's a pretty girl. She bats her eyes. She tells you a compelling story and
Mhm.
she can relate to you and sell it. But yeah, you got.
And then he also said that she's a manipulator even when she's not on drugs.
Well, that's what he said. He said, she's a beautiful manipulator and she's only
Mhm.
looking out for Gabrielle. And Angel goes, so was she like that when she was sober? Or it was the
Mhm.
drugs did it? He goes, no, she was
It's
always
her.
like that. The drugs made it
Yep.
worse. So Angel's like, wow, I've really been hurt. And I've been through some shit in my life. And I got to say, this is a big one, to really care about someone and have them take advantage of your heart and your kindness. And he goes,
Yep.
well, she played you. So I don't know.
She
I don't know
did.
what else to tell
And
you, girl.
everyone fucking saw it
Yeah.
except for you.
And Angel goes, well, wow. Okay. Talking to you is actually giving me some closure and I'm accepting this. So thank you for talking to me. And, she tells us, "I learned a lot about Gabby today. She's a good manipulator and I fell for it. And I believed Gabby was strong enough to become the woman she said she would. And, for me, it was real. But I guess for her, it wasn't real. And that's on her. I have closure, but I miss her and I hope she's okay."
You thought she was going to be this good Christian wife while you were in there and you witnessed her do drugs and you knew she had a drug problem
And you did drugs with her. So you're not so
with
great
her.
either.
Yeah. Mhm.
Angele has not seen Gabrielle, but they speak occasionally. Angele now has a new girlfriend and lives in New York. Now, you found Gabrielle's Instagram, and that was a journey. That was a journey,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
she's Santa cosplaying in front of a Christmas
Mhm.
tree, and then if you
Mhm.
click on her link tree, she does have OnlyFans.
Ew, no.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
mhm.
She's not looking good. That's all I'll say.
But she's alive and doesn't appear to be on drugs, and maybe has a kid.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. But
Um,
I wouldn't spend any money on her OnlyFans. Not even just to see what it's about. No, no,
no,
thank you. I've seen enough on Instagram.
I can't remember what
That tells me
her
everything.
Instagram is called. It's like the real
I can't
breeze.
remember.
It's the real
Yeah,
breeze
something like
something.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which made me realize that when people are named Bree, sometimes it's short for Gabrielle. I never realized that
I never knew
because
that.
it's you got to take out
Mm-mm.
the middle.
Right.
Okay, now we're going to go on to Nate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I
Mm-hmm.
did find out why he went in to 60 days in.
Okay.
Okay, so what I've read on the Reddit is that he went into 60 days in because when he was on his second tour of Iraq, his brother went into prison, and Nate really wanted to get into the prison system. He felt prison systems should be run more like the military so that people get some
Mm-hmm.
discipline for when they get out.
Okay.
So that was one of the reasons he went in. Okay. So let's see. Nate was disappointed that when he was stationed in Iraq on one of his 2 combat tours, his older brother had been arrested and was facing prison time. He believes that the criminal justice system should be tougher on criminals in order to dissuade them from returning to prison. And he argues prisons should be more militaristic and less flexible when it comes to inmates' liberties. So,
Well, that changed.
it's interesting. That's why I went in.
Yeah. I
Okay.
would have never thought that would be his reason for going
We also
in.
found out the scar was because he got elbowed in a basketball game, and he didn't snitch or anything, and so he got a lot of respect from the other inmates because he said it was an accident or something, so somebody else
Yeah.
didn't get in trouble. Okay, so here's his segment. He was in jail for 4 months, and we see when they asked him, "Do you wanna stay for another 60 days?" He says, it helped him to fully develop the relationships, and he says Desmond is his friend for life, and Desmond needs to focus on how to be a better person. He tells us that after 60 days in, he and Kaylin, his girlfriend, broke up.
Mm-hmm.
He now has a business restoring homes that have water and fire damage, and he wants to hire veterans and formerly incarcerated guys. He's going back to Fulton County Jail. Um, Colonel Adger shows him around and shows him the new intake way that they're doing things, where they do a strip
Mm-hmm.
search, and the colonel says they have interjected, and he says it 3 times wrong. He interjected means go
It means
between,
going in.
interjected a bunch of contraband. He means to say intercepted. Anyway, they interjected a bunch of contraband. They interjected firearms and knives in body cavities.
I don't know how one gets one's cavities prepared for a firearm to fit in there.
Or a knife. That shit may
Like,
be better as bubble wrap. I don't know.
it has to be, because I was thinking, I was like, they've got to wrap it up in plastic. I still wouldn't take that chance.
Mm-mm. So,
Mm-mm.
Nate's gonna go talk to some of the inmates. He hope they won't, be mad, think of him as a snitch.
Right.
He walks around, is like, "Wow, this is crazy." We see him kinda walking around, the area, and he sees some familiar faces. He talks to a dude in 503. The guy's telling him he wants to get a trade to be an auto mechanic, but we don't recognize this
Mm-hmm.
guy. We don't see Desmond, and we don't see any of the other
Mm-mm.
guys that we recognize.
No.
Um, and in his talking head, Nate says, "I did this for a bigger purpose. I'm just getting started." And then we see Nate enrolled in college and plans to continue hiring veterans and inmates. Now,
The end.
the end, let's not talk about anything else. Unfortunately for you, we are going to have to talk about all of it. Okay. So if you guys
Oh
don't
boy.
know what we're talking about, Nate, and I've got lots of details about what happened.
Oh
Okay.
God.
So
Okay.
Nate, and some of this came from Johnny on the Reddit. So Nate
Okay.
was married to this other girl.
Okay.
And according to the Reddit, okay,
Mm-hmm.
they were having a bad time in their marriage and they
Mm-hmm.
were separated. She said she
Okay.
was pregnant. He thought the baby was not his. He was
Oh,
wanting to get a divorce. She texted him a bunch of stuff. This is according to Reddit, so it's alleged. She
okay.
texted him a bunch of stuff and got him to come over. They had sex.
Mhm.
The next day, she pressed charges on him and said that he sexually assaulted her and that he came at her with a gun, etc. Of which he said none of that ever happened. And there was all these text messages to prove. She was like, "Come over here."
Mhm. Mhm.
And then she said something went down. Now that doesn't mean that he went over there, something went down, and he could have assaulted her. But
Right.
he said 100% none of it was true at all. The girl made up all these lies because she wanted to make sure she was going to get custody of this kid that she says was his. Okay.
Okay.
Um, so I saw a note on Johnny on Reddit, Nate, regarding Nate, and he said the suicide that Nate ended up killing himself was because of his PTSD and his wife falsely accusing him. These are things that pushed him over the edge. Um, Johnny has spoken to the ex, and she
Mhm.
has said to Johnny that the lies that she told him got out of hand. And Nate had
Oh.
asked her for a divorce because he believed the kid was not his. Like they had a terrible relationship.
And she was trying to manipulate the situation.
Yes. Mhm.
Oh, man. So he really didn't turn bad.
From what I can tell, no. Now, people may know more about the situation, but this is what I am reading, and this is what Johnny said, that this was like this evil woman, blah, blah, blah. There's 2 sides to every story,
Of
and we don't know,
course.
but, so let's see, I'll pull up a picture of her. There he is, cute Nate, that's the wife. So, he
Well,
put
I mean, all we have to do is wait for the baby to be born, and if it had Nate's big ass forehead, he'd know it was his. Cause woo, Megamind.
So, at some point, Nate had checked into, like, the VA hospital, and
Oh,
said he had suicidal thoughts and he was reaching out
okay.
for some help. And later in the suicide note, where I'm gonna read you some stuff,
Oh, God.
he says, "I went for help and was made to feel like a criminal, and they took away all my personal liberties," which was probably triggering for him. He was
Mhm.
unable to use the phone or anything, and he said, "In my time of need, I needed to reach out to my family, and they wouldn't let me. They made me feel like a criminal because I went in trying to get some help for my mental health issues." So
Mm.
that was one thing, and he was like, "That system is broken." So, he posted a very long suicide note on Facebook,
Oh.
3,000 words,
Woo! Oh, God.
and his family alerted the
Ugh.
police who went to look for him. So a policeman is doing a patrol, comes up on him, and Nate shakes his head at the guy when he sees him in the car and like, "Don't come over here." And the guy finds him. Nate gets out of the car, and you guys don't listen to this. Don't listen to this if it's
Here's the
gonna be
warning.
upsetting. This is the warning. And I'll actually put another warning in before I start telling the story. The and I read the police report. The cop comes up to him, Nate gets a weapon, points it under his own chin, and tells the guy, like, "Back up, like, you're not gonna stop me." So the guy shields the police, and then some more police come, they shield themselves behind the car. More family comes, but he never sees the family because they think that would upset him, but they are trying to help him talk to the negotiators to get him to put the weapons down. And people were like, "Oh, he did it in front of a Pizza Hut." He wasn't coming out of a Pizza Hut and decided to kill himself. That's where he parked his car when the cops were
Okay.
after him. Um, so the negotiator talked to him for 40 minutes, and then he did pull the trigger. His sister put out a statement and said, "Nathan loved his country, his family. He was a very caring guy. He was in a bad place." Um, his Twitter profile is still up. It is Nate a boy, like Attaboy, but Nate a boy.
Yeah.
His Insta profile is gone. On Twitter one day, people were asking him questions. He was like, "I don't know how to work this Twitter," but he was trying to answer questions. He said he and
Right.
Desmond were definitely still in touch.
Oh.
I found Desmond on Instagram. It seems like he's in jail. It was an Instagram post from jail, as you
Oh.
do. Um, okay, so this is it seems like Nate had gone to a military hospital for suicidal thoughts, and he says they took away his ability to talk to his family, so he had to lie to get out of there, and that system is broken. He needed help. Also, his suicide note mentioned his ex-wife, who I don't know, ex-wife, current wife, was separated from, who was pregnant. She told him she would ruin his life and had no idea who he was messing with. And he says, "So you're right. You win. You win. I have no idea who I was messing with. You're right." So he's saying
Damn.
on the suicide note, like, you win. And he said he saw no way
Damn.
out. He said, to all the people that think they could have talked me out of this, know that you couldn't have. There's nothing you could have done. I was set on doing this. We all have our day. We all have our time to go. Most people don't feel like we should decide that for ourselves, but I'm here to tell you I've made that decision. And as hard as the decision was, I'm happy with it. I'm done fighting with the demons in my past today and the ones that are coming for tomorrow. He also mentioned like how hard it would be to fight this court case, even knowing that he had the evidence on his side.
Yeah.
Um, and he was currently at the time working as a fish and wildlife officer in Michigan. So he had gotten a community college
Did a
degree
good job.
and a good job working. And he had become a law enforcement officer. So you guys, middle of the season, or
Mm.
maybe like 4 episodes in or 3 episodes in, somebody sent us, I can't remember who, a DM and told us that Nate had ended his life, and we were just like, "Huh?
Yeah,
Nate?"
we didn't believe it. Mm-mm.
And we told Kimberly, and then we looked up a bunch of stuff, and we just couldn't believe it. So it's really, really hard to look up this season and not just be bombarded with stories about it. Like
Yeah.
Daily Mail, Page 6, like everybody covered it, and we did not
Yeah.
know.
Mm-mm.
And Kimberly didn't know, which is crazy. But it is a really, really sad end. And like I said, Johnny was on there a lot when people would say stuff like he was a rapist, he was this, and Johnny was like, "No, he wasn't." He had charges against him that had not been proven, and he had an ex-wife who I have spoken to who said the lies got out of control, and Nate suspected the baby was somebody else's, and other people were saying there was all this evidence that he was going to use in court, that she had asked him to come over and have sex and stuff, so he had not sexually assaulted her, he had not
Right.
pointed a gun at her, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, we don't know what is true with all of that.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
I
just
would
sad all the way
I
around.
would hope that he didn't do any of that, but we actually don't know,
Yeah.
and he was obviously in a
No.
very, very dark place.
Yeah. It's so sad because he helped so many people while he was in prison, in
Mhm.
jail during a program, and no one was able to help him.
Right. And he says, like, "I know all of my friends and family." It says something like, "I know all my friends and family say I'm so great and I have all these talents, but I don't see it. And
Yeah.
none of you could have helped me. None of you could have talked me out of this. So don't beat yourself up over that." So it's interesting, like in the suicide note, he's like thinking of other people after he's gone,
Yeah.
what they will say. They will all say,
Right.
"I could have
I
helped."
could
And
have helped you.
he's saying you couldn't have. I mean, it's interesting, right, for him to be thinking of other people. I don't know. It's very
Yeah.
sad. Um, but it's interesting of all the stuff that I couldn't find anything on so many people, but I found his Twitter was, still there, and I could read all his stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Looks
here's a
horrible.
picture of him that I think must have been in Iraq, and it's one of those, have you ever seen those stupid Trump banners with Trump that where he looks like a Rambo with all the guns and stuff strapped on him?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Nate is standing underneath one of them with, like, the exact guns and stuff actually looking like the poster, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, with all the muscles and the stuff,
Yeah.
but it is really, really sad, and I'm sorry to end it on a sad note, but,
Yeah.
if we have to know it, you have to know it.
I wish I didn't know it, but
I know, me too.
that's his story.
That's his story, and that's how it ended up, and it's too bad, and again, I don't know anything. I don't know if the woman had the baby and it is his,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
still very close with the family, and this woman, maybe she had some help she needed. I don't know anything about it, but let's just try to remember how he is. Cute thing. Um,
Yeah.
such a cute guy, so nice, so fun,
That's
and
who won America, not you, Stephanie.
not you, this girl. I forgot to even show you this picture on the bottom right.
Ooh, that's scary.
That's what Angele looks like now. She's a director and writer based in Los Angeles, California. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Interesting.
that's what she looks like now, but, never forget. We'll end it on a funny note
Yeah.
with Stephanie looking like the female gremlin.
Greta
Um,
the Gremlin. I'm pretty sure that's her name, Greta.
I had no idea who that was. I thought it was, like, from another show. I didn't know.
You've never seen Gremlins 2?
Uh-uh. Uh-uh. I was
Oh
like, "Is
my
that
God.
girl from Fraggle Rock? What is that?"
She is not a Fraggle. She is a total gremlin.
You guys, I hope you enjoyed our coverage of 60 Days In. It's crazy that the way that it hit
The
exactly,
timing.
the
Yeah.
timing was great. It's meant to be that we were meant to cover it. And Love During Lockup comes back next week. Now, Keisha is going to be in a few weeks interviewing Monique on
Mhm.
her show, The Libra Lounge with Keisha, and you will
Mhm.
promote the hell out of that here so we can make sure we're all paying attention. I
Great.
can't
Sounds like a plan.
I cannot wait.
It's gonna be interesting.
She's a wig
Very
expert
interesting.
now. I just went and looked, man. She's
She really, I mean, even on the show during her season, like she can wear a wig. Like she can wear a wig and it doesn't look like a wig.
no, it looks great.
So,
Yeah, I
mhm.
think she's got some sort of collab,
I
social
think
media
she does
collab with
too.
a wig
Yeah.
company, but she shows, like, how she gets the wig on and then how she does the
Yeah.
edges and all that, and I'm
Yeah.
always
All
fascinated
the
by
shit that I cannot do. Yeah.
always fascinated how you make it look not like a wig,
Mhm.
how
Mhm.
you blend in because 'cause we've seen some ones that
Yeah.
it lift right up.
No. 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 We
Well,
see
good
some
for
bad
her.
wigs.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Well, Love During Lockup starts next week, everybody. We're very, very excited about it. Keisha and I will be putting out stuff on our social media, so make sure you're following us. The Libra Lounge with Keisha and Pink Shade Pod. And I'm sorry we ended on a bad note, but this was a great show. And if we ever have a break again, like sometimes they throw Mama June at us, and we get a Love During Lockup break, we'll do another one. So sound
And
off.
I welcome Mama June with open
I know
arms.
you covered Mama June, but I do not. I will not. So you guys, if there's another season that's like really great and you think if you ever do it again, you need to cover this one, you guys let us know. I've heard lots of people go
Yeah.
say different numbers, but I can't remember because I was too focused on this.
Yes.
But let us know. And tomorrow I'll be here with Kimberly to talk about um Before the 90 Days was a great episode. And then Thursday I'll be back with Pop and Bravo. I haven't done it in a few weeks with my buddy Ace Fanning. It's going to be a great episode because we are going to be rolling into episode 1 of the Salt Lake City reunion, Keisha.
Can't wait for that.
Can't wait. Okay,
Cannot wait.
Keisha, I will see you on Wednesday for the Welcome to Plathville $10 Prime episode. And
Mhm.
other than that, I'll see you next week for Love During Lockup. Bye.
Bye.